Good morning and welcome to the ceremony of unveiling the plaque and formally opening the Center for Inventors. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, President Professor Uri Sivan, Chairman of the Board, Mr. Scott Leemaster, Eyal, Yael, the children of Rafi, Mr. Chaim Schulman. Chaim, where are you? My partner, almost partner, in the last two years. Family, friends, Chairman of the Israeli Friends of the Technion, Professor Peretz Lavi, Head of the Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, Professor Ezri Tarazi. I am delighted to welcome you all to the Technion today for the dedication of the Mehudar Center for Inventors. My name is Alon Wolf. As I said, I'm a professor of mechanical engineering and the Vice President for External Relations and Resource Development, and I'm delighted to be the Master of Ceremonies. I would like to first send our best wishes to Mr. Rafael Mehudar, who was unable to attend the ceremony today. We wish him good health and are honored to have his children here with us, Eyal and Yael. The Mehudar Center for Inventors will offer everyone an opportunity to transform their creative ideas and inventions into models and prototypes using state-of-the-art equipment and facilities. We all saw it, and I think it's a beautiful facility here. I would like to invite Professor Uri Sivan to deliver his gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Alon. Rafi, I hope you can watch us. Unfortunately, online, and you are certainly missed here. This center that you see is Rafi's vision, Rafi's dream. And I have to say that as someone that has been building equipment and machines and motors throughout his life, I connected immediately to this vision. I believe that anybody that ever built something physical, I'm not talking about programming, but something that you can hold with both your hands, he's hooked. I mean, so I already have plans for my retirement. I know, although Rafi told me that I'll have to be admitted. I mean, so it's not. Anyway, I'd like to start by thanking everybody who contributed to this dream coming true. Of course, Rafi and Chaim, and where is Uri? Somewhere. Here's Uri over there. And Eyal, Yael, Peretz, who initiated, that it was a long pregnancy, I would say, and Alon Chaim mentioned, Zizi, Abat. It was a multi-dimensional. Ezri and Reuven, where is Reuven? Reuven over there. Many contributed to this dream coming through. So thank you very much. Today's dedication ceremony of the Mehuder Center for Inventors brings together three unique components. An extraordinary visionary man, an innovative educational initiative, and you should be aware of the fact that entrepreneurship became a major topic in our education, much thanks to Ezri and Reuven, and an unusual, one-of-a-kind building to house it. A graduate of the Technion, Rafi, exemplifies what the Technion seeks to inspire in its students regarding innovation and entrepreneurship. Armed with creative mind, determination, and a sense of mission, Rafi is a serial inventor with hundreds of patents registered to his name, whose reputation far precedes him. At 20, when he was an IDF academic cadet, Rafi developed the dual quantity flushing system, which is in use today in almost every Israeli home. At the same time, he developed an irrigation system that waters a square area. And I was trying to figure out how to do that, how to build an irrigation system that doesn't irrigate a circle but a square. This is an interesting challenge. We should give it to our students alone for them. The Standards Institution of Israel was very impressed by the young inventor and hired him to work there part-time after his discharge from the IDF. Netafim, which had heard about the pressure regulator developed by Rafi, approached him as well. Mehuder developed the drip pipes that have changed the agricultural world, and the rest is history. Rafi received an honorary doctorate from the Technion back in 2014, and in 2015 he was selected to light a torch at the opening event for Israel's Independence Day at Mount Herzl. In its official announcement on that occasion, the Ministerial Committee for the ceremonies and symbols wrote the following, and I quote, "The invention of the drip pipes was an agricultural breakthrough for Israel and the world and contributed to tremendous savings in irrigation water. The drip pipes made it possible to build communities and develop agriculture even in arid regions in countries plagued by starvation. The Mehuder Center for Inventors offers a new and innovative approach, one of its kind, to a challenge of maintaining and fostering the spirit of ingenuity among our students, faculty, and in fact anybody, including people outside the Technion. This center is going to be open to everybody. The center will allow those users to transform their creative idea and innovations into models and prototypes using its advanced new equipment and facilities. A hands-on approach will provide users with access to a productive space to explore and test their ideas, and also mentors will help them doing that, and before taking them to scale. We are confident that this approach will greatly inspire current and future creators to turn their inventions into practical technologies and follow the example set by Rafi and others." Well, the third exciting element I mentioned earlier is the building itself. Designed by architects Alfred Newman and Zvi Hacker, and commonly known as the Danziger Laboratories, the building is a unique architectural structure. Completed in 1966, the building has gained iconic status here on campus, but more generally among architects in Israel. It is considered by many nowadays an excellent example of the architectural style prevalent at the time, making it a perfect home for this new existing center. Rafi, while you are not present with us today, your ideas, thoughts, and way of thinking are evident in every corner of the new center. I'm sure that seeing the new center complete and ready to be filled with young, curious minds and hands ready to take on the world must make you ready and eager to join them as soon as possible. We all hope it will happen soon. In the meantime, I wish to thank you again for your tremendous support of the Technion and what it stands for, and for the example you set to others with your ingenuity, passion, and generosity. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sivan. I would like to invite Professor Peretz Lavie to speak.
Thank you very much, Alon, Professor Sivan, Chairman of the Board, Professor Amos Chorev, dear guests, Eyal and Yael. As the President said, this was a long pregnancy, much longer than 9 months. And the first time I heard about this project, I was impressed with the passion, with the vision, and with the unusual commitment of one person to this idea of providing people with a, I would say, a Garden of Eden for inventors. And I think in order to understand this place, I decided to talk about this person. And reading the life story of Rafi Mehudar, it seems like it was written by a writer the caliber of Lewis Carroll, the writer of Alice in Wonderland. The title should be Rafi in Wonderland. Imagine a child whose mother used to come back from school always crying because of what the teachers told her about her son. They all said that he would never understand history nor math. The chemistry teacher went even farther. Fancy lady, she said, your son does not know chemistry, but maybe a great plumber will come out of him. The chemistry teacher didn't know how right she was, perhaps even predicted the future. Fortunately, Rafi, your father, ignored these teachers' gloomy predictions and allowed you to build things. At the age of 13, he bought his son a set of electric tools and allowed him to build a huge solar collector in his room and later a solar installation for seawater desalination, which really worked. His father probably understood that Rafi had the ingenious ability for both creativity and innovation. And as the president said, he didn't stop with solar energy. When studying at the Technion at the age of 20, he invented the sprinkler that sprays in squares instead of in circles, and the double quantity flushing container for a toilet that has become a standard, not only in Israel, worldwide. But Rafi will be remembered in history as the person who have made one of the most important contributions to modern agriculture, and by that have changed the life of millions around the world. The idea of drip irrigation invented by Simcha Balas was groundbreaking, but the original technology was sensitive to blockages. The company that produced the drip irrigation, Netafim, turned to the young engineer, Rafi Mehudar, who developed for them the next generation of sophisticated drippers. The Mehudar drippers adapt to changing pressures automatically, clean themselves, and was able to maintain a uniform amount of water, regardless of water quality and pressure. The Mehudar's drip technology enables farmers to achieve greater yield of quality crops with reduced use of water, soil, and fertilizers resources, and with little impact, which is so important today, on the environment. Millions of farmers currently use these systems in more than 110 countries around the world. Wow, if only his chemistry teacher could see what kind of a plumber he became. Rafi is not only a creative person who thinks about things, he is at the same time also an innovator who is doing new things. His generous gift to the Technion, the Mehudar Center for Inventors, will allow creative people from all over Israel to become innovative, building new things for the benefit of society. I would like to conclude, Rafi, by quoting you, what you think about innovation. In an interview that he gave just before he participated in the opening ceremony of Yom HaAtzmaut, Independence Day, in 2015, he was interviewed about innovation. And he said the following: an inventor is a person with crazy ideas. When they fail, he's crazy. When he succeeds, he's a genius. And what distinguishes a crazy from a genius is luck. I once claimed that 85% of success is luck, and the rest is knowledge and work. Rafi, let me assure you that opening the Mehudar Center for Inventors will reduce the amount of luck in the inventive process. Thank you from the bottom of our heart for providing creative people, of whom we have so many in the Technion and in Israel, to become inventive. You should be their model. Thank you, Rafi.
Thank you very much, Professor Lavie. I invite now Professor Ezri Tarazi to speak.
To all Technion family, and I regard everyone here as the Technion family. About a month ago, I was standing at the MoMA Museum in New York, in front of a painting by Henri Matisse from 1911 called The Red Studio. Actually, the whole exhibition was focused on this painting. The painting shows Matisse's own studio with famous canvases and sculptures scattered around. Decoding the process of creating the painting by infrared camera reveals that Matisse initially painted the studio as is, with the green grid lines and white walls. Only then did he feel uneasy with the bold decision, painted the entire studio with bright crimson red as he crosses the line of the studio previous details. This daring, unreal decision gave the artwork its eternal fame and high value. Like in art, the creation process of invention is not a technical production of an idea held clearly in the mind of the inventor. It is an iterative process, sketching, planning, building a mock-up, reflection, and then redesign through new decision points after many prototypes. The evolution of pure design occurs during this process. Model building is not a technical act, but part of the very creative journey of navigating the unknown. Technion graduate, engineer, and inventor Rafi Mehudar says that as a student, he lacked a place to develop his ideas and inventions. As an avid art lover, Rafi Mehudar knows how akin the world of arts is to the world of invention. Both starts with a white canvas. Mehudar's dream come true today with the establishment of Mehudar Center for Inventors at the Technion inside the heart of the Technion campus T-Hub for entrepreneurship and innovation. There is no equivalent to this type of center in Israel, which is a home to the entire community of inventors. It is equipped with everything an inventor can dream of. 3D printers for various materials, laser cutters, digital manufacturing, robotics, electronics, and even sewing machines. It is a home for inventing thinking, maker cultures, T-Make, prototyping skills, we call it T-Pro, and an annual program for professional support for inexperienced inventors, T-Invent. The center is open to all ages and sectors in Israel, including pupils from schools, to foster the perception and culture of inventions as a growth development engine for Israel and the world. Hundreds of millions of people around the world owe Rafi Mehudar the very food that is laid out to their table every day. Rafi Mehudar's serial inventions in the field of drip irrigation have changed the face of agriculture in the world, making it possible to grow food in places that could not have been imagined. The global climate crisis and the desertification process on over large parts of the planet only reinforce the vital need for Mehudar inventions for the purposes of sustainability and survival. Rafi Mehudar's legacy as a graduate of the Technion, led by inventions and development with global impact, is embedded in this new center. The hope of us all is that it will be as an exampleship for how to tackle the enormous challenges facing humanity today and become creative catalyst for the investors, generations of the future. I would like to thank the president of the Technion, Uri Sivan, together with the CEO and Vice President Boaz Golani and Professor Alon Wolf, and their teams work hard to make it real. To Professor Peretz Lavi, chair of the Friends of the Technion Association in Israel and former president of the Technion, with Tal Bar-Lev, general director of the association. Thank you, Tal. To Senior Vice President Professor Oded Rabinovich for his support and guidance along the way. To the Technion Vice President Zehava Laniado, Zizi, who firmly managed and accelerated the process. To Professor Eyal Zusman, the head of the Danziger Laboratories, who have been there since the beginning, the staff of the Technion Construction Division, Amon Leibovich, and Rami Aram, the project manager, who maintained optimism all the way till this last moment. To the Gan Mushli, the architects, and Anna Anastasia, the project architect, Professor Reuven Katz, operation manager of T-Hub, Boaz Drori, the new director of Mehudar Center for Inventors. Maybe you stand up that everyone will recognize you. To the entire T-Hub staff team, Hila, Vered, Sigalit, and Gadi, to the architect Ezra Uzeri, the director of laboratories of Faculty of Architecture, who helped us a lot, to the main contractors, to those who delivered us on time, the printers. Everyone without exception worked extraordinarily hard to the last minute in times of shipment problems and pandemic for the project completion on time. Whoever visited Rafi Mehudar's beautiful panoramic home experienced the feeling of being surrounded by high art and design. The Mehudar Center, we are celebrating its historic opening, will be surely filled soon with various functional and beautiful, outstanding inventions. So the last thanks is to you, Rafi Mehudar, to all your family members, Eyal and Yael, the team, Chaim Schulman, Uri Ramon, and others, who worked with us together for the success and the glory of the project, which is a house of appreciation and recognition to you, Rafa El Mehudar.
Thank you, Ezri. Thank you very much. Now I invite three Technion students to the stage, Ariel Laufer, Keshet Rosenberg, and Liron Bar-Oz. They will sing an Israeli song, Shir Nevui Kosmi Aliz. A song was written by Yoni Rechter and Ali Mohar.
בדרכך. כמו שביל חלב שחוצה את השמיים, אתה הולך ישר, לא שם לב לכוכבים שזוהרים כדי לסנוור את העיניים. משהו בך יאמר לך המשך בדרכך. הולך ישר, לך לבד, אל תבחן, אל תכעס, לך תמים, לך ישר, כמו אבז הבר שחולף בשמי הערב, הוא טס בראש החץ, לא נרתע מן המרחק, והאינסטינקט מראה ובורא לו את הדרך. משהו בך יאמר לך המשך בדרכך. הולך ישר, לך לבד, אל תבחן, אל תכעס, לך תמים, לך אחד, כמו בריז'יט ברדו שתפסה כבר את העסק, השאירה מאחור את הטוב ואת הרע, ועל העניינים היא צופה מן המרפסת. משהו בך יאמר לך הפסק.
בלי להתכוון, תן לעצמך ללכת, כל החישובים ייגמרו מעליהם.
כמו העץ שקם לתחייה מן השלכת, משהו בך יאמר לך המשך. לך ישר, לך לבד, אל תבחן, אל תכעס, לך תמיד, לך אחד, לך ישר, לך לבד, אל תבחן, אל תכעס, לך תמיד, לך אחד, כמו אבז הבר.
Thank you so much, Liron, Keshet, and Ariel. Beautiful, really beautiful. I'll now invite Eyal to respond.
Excuse me, I want to say a word. If not for the late Professor Arthur Shavit, there wouldn't have been that project at all. Arthur Shavit was a professor of mechanical engineering here at Technion and did his advanced studies at MIT. Rafi admired Arthur Shavit. The connection between Rafi and Technion was dependent on the relationship between Arthur. And when I think about it, we must remember this name and ask Rafi about Arthur Shavit. Arthur Shavit studied at a school with a well-known hobby shop. In a way, he planted the idea, among other things, at the mind of Rafi. Thank you.
Amos, as always, thank you so much for your amazing memories, and I had the privilege and honor to be one of Arthur Shavit's students. I don't know how many know how Arthur was named by the students. He was named King Arthur.
Thank you. So first and foremost, I want to apologize on behalf of my father, Rafi Meudar, who is not feeling well enough to attend this festive event. I wish him good health and hope that he will be able to visit this special facility, his vision, as soon as possible. He asked me to say a few words. Thank you, Technion, for allowing this center to be built on your grounds and for allocating this unique building for our cause. Technion team members, current and former presidents, vice presidents, academic staff, and the Israel Friends of the Technion organization, we are grateful for your assistance in making this place a reality. A special thanks to Professor Amos Chorev and the late Professor Arthur Shavit, who were instrumental in starting this project and establishing the relationship with the Technion. Moreover, this project could not have happened without the dedicated work of our hydroplan team as well. This team is responsible for bridging the gap between the idea and its realization. Rafi created and perfected irrigation drippers. He created for the first time drippers that are immune to dirt and sediments, that maintain a constant flow rate across varying pressures and are cheap to manufacture. To clarify, Rafi was not the first to suggest the idea of drip irrigation. The concept was proposed decades earlier. However, he was the first to develop a working, reliable, efficient design. Teaming with Netafim, these technologies revolutionized drip irrigation, and today they are found in the majority of the world's drippers. Nowadays, Netafim is the world's leading irrigation company. But when Rafi was an undergrad student at the Technion and was working on his first inventions, he did not have a place where he could build and test his prototypes. It is from this need that the idea for this Inventors Center was born. The goal of the center is to allow inventors from across the country, Technion students and the general public, young inventors and adult inventors, to bring their inventions to life, to design and build prototypes, and then test their ideas, all while retaining ownership of their intellectual property. The center will provide aid for inventors lacking the necessary resources to validate their inventions, and to those lacking the skills necessary to build prototypes on their own. A great deal of effort was needed to comprehend how such a place should be built and how it should operate. Yet our trust is in the Technion to run this place and accomplish its mission. May many groundbreaking inventions and inventors find their home in this center, and may them bring novel solutions to this world. בהצלחה.
Thank you very much, Eyal, and thank you, Rafi, on behalf of everyone. The Technion is very grateful to you and the family for establishing this wonderful state-of-the-art center that will be an important need, will fill an important need, and will have tremendous impact in moving ideas from drawing board into the real world.